Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our forum. First of all, I would like to thank to all the audience in front of me. Thank you very much for attending the forum for today. Today, we would like to highlight a topic that is quite interesting to be discussed, which is teachers and the implementation of a new English curriculum for primary school. I am sure that every one of us has our own opinion and thought with the topic. Before we proceed to our forum, I would like to introduce our panelists for today. Our first panelist is Nur Fatihah binti Ilyas. How are you today, Fatihah?
Thank you for asking me, our gorgeous moderator today, Miss Hazlin. I'm feeling very well today and excited to proceed our forum today.
Thank you. Next to her is our specially panel 2, Nur Ain Nadira binti Amran. How are you today, Ain?
Thank you for asking me, Miss Hazlin, as a great moderator today. I am good and glad to be here this morning.
Before we start our forum in details, let me explain about our topic for today. Curriculum implementation is a multi-level process. In fact, a number of stakeholders are responsible to the success of a curriculum change. However, a teacher brings a lot more to it, as he is the instigator of change in the classroom. He has the decision-making power over what is learned and how it is learned within the confines of his classroom setting. As proposed by Taba, 1962, the teacher is an agent of a change. Without his understanding of it, his awareness of its importance, and his willingness to implement a new intended curriculum, the new curriculum will remain just another idea in the field. It is in the hands of teachers that an intended curriculum develops into an enacted curriculum. Alright, let's move on to the history of curriculum implementation. For further detail about this topic, I would like to seek an information from our first panelist next to me, Nur Fatihah. May you share with all the audience for tonight what is the history of curriculum implementation in Malaysia?
Alright, thank you for the great question, Miss Hazlin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and nice to meet all of the audience and our panelists. Firstly, I would like to thank you for inviting me to a foreign conference today. When we talk about history, I'm very sure that we as a human excited to know that history in Malaysia is a chronological record of significant event and a study of the past events, how and why they happened. So today, I would like to discuss about history of curriculum implementation in Malaysia. First of all, let's focus on the implementation of history subject standard curriculum for primary school. However, the teaching and learning approach of history subjects is focusing on critical, creative, and innovative thinking skills through inquiry and exploration activities to strengthen understanding on history. Is an effort to equip students with the development of knowledge, skills, and practice of moral values, as well as the application of their sense of identity as Malaysian citizens. Now, I would like to share with all the audience the several aspects that support the implementation of the history curriculum in the primary school. Curriculum. One of the strategy and planning is effective history teaching methods. For the example, teachers need to plan their lesson first before they implement it in the classroom so that the learning process is directed and implemented as expected. This is conducted to ensure that the principles of history learning that have been incorporated into the teacher's lesson plan can be fully explained and implemented. With lesson planning, the teachers will have the concept and visualization of the material to be taught, which ultimately to create quality learning and to educate students to not only excel in their cognitive skills but also in attitudes that reflect their values, citizenship, civics, and patriotism. Secondly, the aspects that support the implementation of the history curriculum in the primary school is use of textbooks. Textbooks are important because of this role of not only as a source but also as a medium of learning, the instrument for delivery of materials, assessment instruments, interest and motivation given in student. As we know, through textbooks, students are expected to learn a lot of the content that state like fact, concept, principles, laws, theories, and other innovative ideas effectively in learning. This is because in today's age of globalization, it requires knowledge and a wide range of skill so that the students can empower themselves to find, interpret, evaluate, and use information to generate creative ideas for decision making.
Thank you, Fatiha. That was a great explanation to be said. As we know that English is being taught as second language in Malaysia primary, secondary schools. The mastery of English is necessary for students to gain information and knowledge written in the English. Therefore, the English language curriculum has been designed in such a way that it will able to produce students who will be proficient in the language. The goal of the Malaysian English language curriculum is to help pupils to acquire the language to help them use it in daily life, to further their study in their fields of interest and future work purpose. The English language curriculum for primary school aims to equip pupils with basic language skills to allow them to communicate very effectively in various contexts that are suitable to the pupils' level of development. Let's move to panel 2, Ain Nadirah. In your opinion, what are the benefits of English curriculum for students?
Alright, thank you Miss Moderator. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good evening to all panelists and the audience. I'm so glad to be one of the guests here. First of all, I would like to thank our moderator for that great question. As we know, English is the second language after Bahasa Melayu that most of Malaysians use in their daily conversation. Moreover, English also known as global language as there are English speakers in most countries around the world. Indirectly, it made English as an important language and a necessity for everyone, including students, to fluent in English. There are countless reasons for people start working for their English. One of the reasons is English become one of the compulsory requirements for students to continue their study or people looking for a job. It is one opportunity to have duality in life. In addition, English is widely spoken in most countries, so to be fluent in English is to have an advantage to communicate easily with most people. For example, we are able to use Malay to talk with foreigners, so English is the medium for us to communicate with them. It clears that teaching English language in primary school is an important for their development and growth. On the other hand, learning English in primary school helps students to encourage them to strengthen their basic English skills such as speaking, reading, listening, and their writing. Strengthen their basic from early age could help them develop their skill with bombastic sentence and accurate grammar usage in their English daily communication. In fact, the KPM action in putting English as second language for primary school syllabus is a massive initiative in advance to lead Malaysian for a better future. That's all from me.
Thank you, Ain. Alright, let's discuss more about our topic today. Some study revealed that there are some findings which indicate some teachers find that impact of the new curriculum towards their teaching practice is the autonomy that it presents. With the new curriculum, they now can decide on the content of the curriculum. The power now is in their hands. Teachers select content that are relevant to the students, both for personal issue and vocational purpose. They also consider students' needs and interests in the selection of materials to develop the teaching and learning modules. Teachers also feel that the new curriculum helps them in making teaching an easier process. The use of locally developed modules has provided teachers with a feeling of ownership on their teaching practice. As for the curriculum's impact on students' learning, teachers associate to teachers' autonomy in making decisions on the curriculum content. Teachers view the impact as positive, identifying relevant content, preparation for vocational purpose, language mastery, independent learning, and focused teaching as impacts on students' learning. In fact, with the introduction of modules in the classroom, learner autonomy takes place due to nature of the task that requires students to be active and independent. We can see that curriculum development and the teacher's role are intrinsically connected. Nur Fatihah, could you please tell us what is the connection between teachers and curriculum?
Alright, thanks again to Miss Hazlin for asking me the question. Let's move to the next content about the connection between teachers and curriculum from Standard Based English Language Curriculum, SPLEC. The SPLEC, which was prepared across teams in a modular structure to permit students to resolve problems, became a decision maker which articulates themselves in a unique way. Curriculum Development Division. However, it is the SCPS concerns the role of students and teachers who occupy the learner-centered approach foreground in second language classrooms. Throughout this approach, teachers are no longer dominating the teaching and learning process, but teachers should help them manage the inventation programmers for English literacy that doubles up their task as remedial teachers. However, some English teachers also demand to attend training and opportunities to improve their language skills. In addition, the teachers has a great responsibility for students. It is because teachers should encourage students to engage in numerous classroom strategies and activities such as engaging in speaking activities, listening attentively, articulating their ideas and emotion, reading with proper understanding and less grammatical errors throughout these activities. With supports from teachers, students are expected to enhance their communicative skills in English with active involvement in the learning process, since teachers act as a facilitator rather than a knowledge provider. Hence, the curriculum promotes learner-centered teaching approach and active learning approach that boosts not only learners' English language proficiency but also their self-confidence. As mentioned earlier, SPLEC emphasizes on the teachers' roles as facilitators who assist learners in gaining knowledge and abilities via multiple learning prospects. Generally, the participant perceptions about the curriculum as a progressive, pragmatic, and outcome-based curriculum suggested that all participants had a positive outlook of the new language curriculum. Teachers' obscurity in SPLEC curriculum implement really important between the students to have a strong foundation for basic literacy so that they will have confidence in using the language in everyday life. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Fatihah. As we all know, there are many approaches to teach English for students in primary school. One of the best approach is by using fun learning, such as There are many ways when teaching English to young learners, but the most important aspect of teaching in English is to motivate pupils to learn the language. This is to make them feel that they need English and make them feel and accept that English is a very interesting subject to learn. One way to build their self-enthusiasm is by using songs, which will encourage them to show more reaction when learning English. As an attractive technique taken from the students' daily activities, the students will feel engaged in the English tutoring. Besides, the songs are part of the authentic materials needed for studying foreign language directly from the native speakers. There are lots of English expressions and cultures in the song that students can learn and expand their knowledge. Students will also learn how to pronounce them, especially after listening to the songs. However, Malaysia faces a number of challenges as far as the teaching of English is concerned. Some of the concern is what is the best approach to teach English to multilingual students. Now, let panel to Ain Nadira to explain about it. The time is yours.
Alright, thank you to Ms. Hazlin. Based on the question, it is undeniable that teaching English to multilingual students is a challenge in Malaysia, especially for us who we use English as a second language. Besides that, Malaysia have various of cultures which is that they use their dialect as a communication language. Therefore, there are a few strategies that we have to do in order to make them fluently speaking English. Firstly, provide the teachers who good at speaking English, like they can speaking in many accents, since the multilingual students sometimes have a problem to mention some words. This can help the student to understand English more when they can clearly hear what the teachers are speaking. Secondly, it also need to be flexible in dealing with this problem of the different medium of instruction in school. For example, in teaching English to Chinese students from vernacular school in Malaysia, teachers need to emphasize on how certain concepts are handled in English, Malay and Chinese. Next, make English as a compulsory subject in syllabus to ensure that the student will get used to speak English with the teacher or the student in the class. In addition, it will attract the students' attention when they are often speak English, and at once the student indirectly could stay focused while the teachers are teaching. Alright, that's all from me for now.
Okay. Thank you, Ain, for the great explanation. Now, we know that there are many approaches to teach English, especially for multilingual students. Finally, we have come to the end of our forum for today, where we have shared a lot of knowledge which we don't even know before. For the last word from me, I would like to thank again to all ladies and gentlemen for tonight, and also to our panels. A billion thanks I dedicate to everyone for cheering up this forum for tonight. See you again for the other issue. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.
Audio Jungle.